Whoa, I need you to really hear what I'm about to say, because this isn't just about you winning something. This is about you completely shattering a blueprint that was designed decades ago, maybe generations ago, specifically so you couldn't do what you just did. You broke their entire plan. You are winning a game that was rigged for you to lose. And honestly, they are losing their minds right now because they didn't account for this version of you. Think about it like this. You walk into a casino, right? You know how casinos work. They are mathematically engineered so the house always wins. Every single machine, every table, every game is calibrated down to some mechanism point to ensure that the odds forever stay in their favor. The average person comes in, has some fun, spends their money, and goes home lighter in the wallet. That's the system. Sorry. That's how it's supposed to work. They have it all calculated. They know exactly how much money they are going to make off you before you ever walk through the door. But then you show up and you do something nobody was supposed to do. You win. Not just a little bit. You actually take something. You set the system back. And right now, right this very second, there are people scrambling. They are in back offices, looking at screens, pulling up civilians' footage, trying to figure out what the hell has happened. How did you do that? How did you beat the odds? Because in their entire blueprint, in their entire strategy, there was no room for you to actually win. There was no contingency plan. There was no backup system for when someone like you showed up. I want you to feel the panic that's happening right now on their end. Picture it. There is a meeting room somewhere. Executives are gathered around. Someone's pulling up the data. Wait, look at this account. Look at these numbers. They are not supposed to be doing this. They are not following the pattern. Check the algorithm. Rerun the calculations. It's something broken. Is something broken? And the worst part, the thing that's really making them nervous, is that nothing's broken. You are just playing better than they thought possible. You see, here is what they didn't anticipate. They designed this entire game based on a version of you that would cooperate. They built it for someone who would accept the losing conditions, who would internalize the idea that success wasn't for them, who would play small and accept the scraps they were offered. They didn't design it for someone who would actually step into their own power. But that's exactly what you did. I'm watching these people on the surveillance screens, metaphorically, spiritually. However you want to frame it. They are literally zooming in on your face, trying to find evidence that you cheated. They have to be cheating. Look for the sleight of hand. Check their pockets. They must be holding something back. Nobody just wins. Nobody just wins like this. Nobody breaks the pattern like this. They are beating their nails. They are holding each other's jackets. They are nervously adjusting their ties and their glasses. They know something just shifted that they cannot control. One of them's got a calculator, another one's got a machine. They are pushing buttons, running scenarios, trying every angle to prove that what they just witnessed wasn't real. But they can't. Because it was. You did it. You actually won at a game that was supposed to be impossible for you to win at. Now, let me tell you what was happening, what happens next. Because this is the part where it gets really interesting. When you win like this, when you break the pattern this severely, the system has a response. It always does. They don't ask you to leave politely. Security comes, they escort you out, and the reason they do this, the real reason, is because they are terrified of what happens if you stay. They are terrified that other people see you winning. They are terrified that the energy in the room shifts. Because if you can win, if you can beat the odds, then maybe other people can do it too. And if that happens, the entire house of cards collapses. They lose their advantage. The system breaks, so they remove you. They make it seem like protocol, like you did something wrong, but really they are just trying to contain the damage. They are trying to make sure nobody else gets the idea that the game isn't reached in their favor anymore. Here is the thing though, and I want you to really sit with this. You're not actually going anywhere. You are just shifted your position. You are not leaving the game. You are winning in a different arena because the same principle applies everywhere. You know that. Whether it's in your career, your relationships, your creative pursuits, your financial situations, your health. Yeah, your health. Your sense of self-worth. Everywhere there is a system that was designed with your loss already calculated into it. Think about where you grew up. Think about the messages you received about who people like you could become. Think about the limitations that were presented to you as if they were laws or physics instead of just someone's opinion. There was a whole strategy built around keeping you contained. And you know what the real wild part is? You are starting to see through it. You are starting to win anyway. Maybe it was a job where they told you that you'd never be management material, that you didn't have the right background, the right connections, the right look, the right energy. And then you showed up. You did the work. You suddenly, and suddenly you are getting promoted past people who've been there longer. Or maybe it was a relationship where someone designed this entire dynamic where you were supposed to keep chasing, keep hoping, keep settling for breadcrumbs. My lips, sorry. And then one day, you just woke up and walked away. You collected your winnings and left. You didn't need their approval anymore. Some of you are winning in ways that nobody even sees yet. you are quietly building something that was never supposed to exist. You are getting healthier than your family history said you should be able to get. You are creating art that was never supposed to come out of you. You are having ideas that your education never prepared you for. You are becoming the version of yourself that you were not supposed to have access to. And they are watching. Oh, they are watching. Maybe it's people who told you that you were too much or too enough. Maybe it's people who benefit from the system staying exactly how it is. Maybe it's strangers who are suddenly going to question their own reality because you broke the rules so completely. They are on the civilians' screens, zooming in your face, trying to understand how this happened. And the discomfort was real because you win. Because your win actually makes them question things. When someone wins at the game that's reached against them, it makes other people start to wonder. It makes them ask questions they were not supposed to ask. Wait, if they can win, what does that say about what I was told about my own limits? That's the question. Your victory isn't just about you. It's about the entire system having to recalibrate. Here is what I'm sensing from the bigger picture. Your win is making people turn inward. It's making them question the framework they build their life on. It makes them wonder who else is watching and watching them. Because if the system isn't as airtight as they claimed, then what else is possible? And on some level, that spiritual awakening is being triggered by you, by what you are doing, by the fact that you are not cooperating with your own defeat. I want to walk you through what some of you are experiencing right now. You are finally feeling good. Admit it. You are building something. You are independent. You are experiencing freedom, and that freedom is absolutely infuriating to anyone who had a vested interest in keeping you small. That financial independence, that emotional autonomy, I want to say, that creative expression, whatever form your win is taking, it's creating shock waves. And the people who were supposed to be managing your life are scrambling to rewrite the rules because the old ones didn't account for you. Some of you, the message right now is clear. It's time to go. Not in a defeated way, but in a victorious way. You won. You've won your winnings. You don't have to prove anything to anybody. You don't need to stay and convince people that your victory is legitimate. You don't need to justify your success or defend your choices. Take what you've won and live quietly, strategically, without announcement. Because here is the thing, and I need you to hear this. When you announce your wins too loudly, when you make it front page news, you create targets, always. You create jealousy. You create people who are on that machine all night, grinding away, and then they see you step up once and hit the jackpot. And suddenly they are mad. They feel entitled to what you earned. They start telling you that you owe them something, that you didn't earn it fairly, that they deserve a piece. And that's when your environment gets corroded. That's when the good thing you built starts to deteriorate under the weight of other people's bitterness. The wisdom here is silence. You know that. Strategic silence. Take your winnings and go. Don't tell anyone about your breakthrough. Don't tell. Don't post about it, about your progress. Don't seek validation for your victory from the same people who will be betting on your failure. You don't have to prove anything. You are not a coward if you leave. You are actually being smart. You are protecting what you've built. You are honoring the magnitude of what you have earned. Some of you are experiencing something different. You wanted to keep your win quiet, but somebody talked. Word got out. And now the whole environment has shifted. The secret's out. Everyone's looking. The energy has changed because what you meant to keep private became public knowledge before you were ready. And that's created complications because now you are dealing with other people's reactions, other people's envy, other people's entitlement. But here is what's important. The announcement doesn't change your win. The fact that other people know doesn't diminish what you achieved. And in this moment, the most powerful thing you can do is go quiet. Go internal. Stop feeding the narrative. Stop defending your victory. Just exist in what you've created. Let them wonder. Let them question. Let them try to figure out how you did it. You don't owe them an explanation. You don't owe. Now, I want to talk about something that might feel uncomfortable. Sorry. But it is important. Yeah, that's important. There are people who designed this entire game and they are starting to understand that their strategy didn't work. They are turning inward too, but for different reasons. They are praying now. They are questioning their spirituality. They are trying to understand what went wrong with their plan. But if their system is breakable, if their rules can be violated, if someone actually broke through, then everything they thought they knew about power and control just shifted. And that's the beautiful irony here. Your win just triggered a spiritual awakening in the people who built the system to defeat you. They are now questioning the foundation of everything they constructed. They are wondering if there is something bigger than their strategy, something that can override their carefully calibrated algorithms. And that might change them. That might make them rethink how they operate. Or it might make them desperate to regain control and rebuild the system even more ruthlessly. But that's not your problem anymore. Here is what's fascinating about the people around you right now. Some of them are experiencing harmony because they see what's happening. They see you breaking the pattern, and it's actually peaceful for them. It's giving them hope. It's showing them that the system isn't as fixed as they thought, and that their own limitations might be more flexible than they believed. Your win is a living example that the reached game can be beaten. But the others are experiencing loss and regret. They are upset because they thought they understood the rules. They thought they knew how this was supposed to play out. And you just violated every single expectation. You made it embarrassing for them. You made them look foolish. Yeah, foolish for believing the lie. Here is the thing about your new position of power, though. You're going to have the change to give. Chance to give. You are going to win so much that you will actually be able to help others. And that's beautiful. But you have to be careful about who you give to. Because there are going to be hands reaching out everywhere. There are going to be people claiming that they deserve your success because they warmed up the machine. For you. Of course, for you. They will say they did the groundwork, that you owe them, that your victory belongs partially to them. Don't fall for it. Generosity is beautiful. Clarity is sacred. But there is a difference between giving from a place of abundance to people who genuinely need it and being manipulated by people who think your success obligates you to support them. The Six of Coins is about knowing the difference. It's about giving to the right people, the ones who will actually use what you give them to improve their own situations. It's about supporting causes bigger than yourself, about feeding the hungry, about lifting up the poor, and contributing to something that matters. But there is also a warning here about the jealous eyes and the outstretched hands that are not coming from a place of genuine need. There is a warning about the people who will drain you if you let them, who will consume your energy and your resources and always want more. You've already beaten the rigged game. You don't need to let anyone else's entitlement be the new system that controls you. So what does it actually mean that you broke their entire game? It means that the blueprint they had for you, the one where you stayed small, you stayed quiet, stayed contained, stayed dependent, doesn't apply anymore. You shattered it. You proved it was built on a lie. And now they are scrambling to understand what this means for the entire structure they have built. It means that you are the exception. You are the anomaly. You are the one who walked into a rigged game and won anyway. And that's not luck. That's not accident. That's something about you that they didn't account for. Maybe it's your resilience. Maybe it's your clarity. Maybe it's the fact that you started paying attention. Maybe it's that you finally got tired of playing by rules that were designed to make you lose. whatever it is. You carry something. You have a frequency, an energy, a light that shifts things just by existing. When you walk into a room, things happen. Doors open, lights come on, opportunities appear, and the people who were running the old system can feel it. They can sense that you are not cooperating with their design anymore. So, here is what comes next. You are going to keep winning, and they are going to keep watching. And there is going to be this fascinating dynamic where your very existence becomes proof that the game isn't as reached as they claimed. Because if you can break it, it means other people can too. And that's the real threat. That's why they need to remove you from the game. Not because you broke the rule, but because your presence proves the rules were always breakable. But you already know this now. You already see it. You can't unsee it. You can't go back to believing that the limitations they placed on you were ever real. You were never supposed to win, but you did, and the entire architecture they built to contain you just cracked. The question now isn't whether you can win. You already are. The question is what you are going to do with it. Are you going to stay in the same casino and keep risking what you've gained? Are you going to take your winnings and go build something somewhere else? Quietly. Are you going to help other people break free from the same systems that tried to trap you? That choice is yours now. Because you already won. You already proved it was possible. You already shattered their plan beyond repair. You won. And that's great.